conversation, but in a different sport.
Absolutely.
So now we're talking about who's the GOAT? Who's the greatest between Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and LeBron James? Jody, go ahead and kick us off. I never really have this conversation, and I'll tell you why. But go ahead and let me know who's your GOAT.
Okay, we all once again are prisoner of the moment. And LeBron James right now, is he the best player in basketball? Yes. Far as of his era, yes, LeBron James is the best basketball player of his era. He's doing things that nobody has ever done. He's a physical specimen. He puts up outstanding numbers. He's getting stronger as he's getting older. He's still putting up. He's the constant, consistent player that we as always. This guy is constant. This guy is gonna give you 25, 8, and 8 every year. That's just what he does. But to say that he's the best player of all time is really blasphemy. But it's blasphemy in two occasions, in two circumstances. One being Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is the best that ever laced up a pair of shoes. And for anybody to compare Michael Jordan, it's not all about the how many championships he had, even though he had 6 of them. He was 6-0 in the finals. But the way that he changed the game and what he did for the game. Michael Jordan saved the NBA. The NBA was going to go bankrupt if Michael Jordan wouldn't have played basketball. When Michael Jordan retired the second time in 1998, the NBA took a spike and almost went in bankruptcy. And people don't know that. It was, if you look it up if you want to, the NBA took a big spike when Michael Jordan retired in 1998. It came back up when the person that I think is behind Michael Jordan is not LeBron James, it was Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant really gave the NBA mouth to mouth when he went on his winning spree, the three-peat with Shaquille O'Neal in Los Angeles. So what really bothers me, and when people talk about the GOAT conversation and you're comparing LeBron James and Michael Jordan, we just forget that Kobe Bryant never played basketball.
Yeah, we do forget about Kobe. And I've had the pleasure to watch each one of these guys in every era in their prime, and I was always a Knicks fan. So Michael Jordan, he was a hated guy. You know what I'm saying? I hated Michael Jordan. I didn't like the Bulls. I didn't watch Bulls games unless they was playing the Knicks, or unless it was just the only thing on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So eventually, I watched a lot of Chicago Bull games, and Michael Jordan was phenomenal, man. But I still hated the guy because, like I said, I'm a Knicks fan, and when you consistently see a guy just keep winning and beating teams and beating your team, and it gets annoying, like,
and
man.
especially when he beat him in heartbreaking fashion.
Right.
It was like he got your heart, he took it out, ate it, and threw it on the ground and kicked it. And that's what I think another reason why Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant sets themselves apart from LeBron James. Once again, if you're watching it, I'm not saying LeBron James is not good, because every time you have this conversation, you it's like you're hating on LeBron James. No. I can put LeBron James, after winning the championship last year, I can put him at number 3. But I just let him pass Magic Johnson, who people forget that Magic got 5 championships too.
Yeah, he does.
We forget about that. And what he did for the Laker organization. But right now is Michael Jordan into I don't know if anybody can surpass. Maybe the person that's gonna surprise Michael Jordan is not even born yet. But then second is Kobe Bryant, because how he galvanized the NBA. And if you take away that one night in Colorado, maybe we're including him in the GOAT conversation, but nobody really puts Kobe in the GOAT conversation. And then I give LeBron, because LeBron, let's state facts. LeBron has lost 5 NBA titles, NBA champion. He lost 5 of them.
I never put LeBron in the greatest of all time. Like, LeBron is a phenomenal player, but I just don't feel like he's the greatest of all time, because LeBron is liable to let you down in those finals, you know. But then I compared skill level,
Okay.
like what they did on the court and offensively and defensively, and I don't know, man. I would. Mike and Kobe is kind of like.
Let me go ahead.
Kind of like as far as skill set, because Kobe. He mimics his skills after Michael Jordan.
Well, let's put this in perspective. Okay, you got Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, and Michael Jordan. So let's go with the first stat that I want: scoring. Who was the best scorer? And give me the top 3 and how you would label them when scores, like as a pure scorer.
I mean, Michael Jordan is going to be number 1 pretty much over everybody, because if he's on the floor and he got the ball, he's such an efficient scorer. Like I look at that too. Like the shots that he take and the shots that he hit, he doesn't miss a lot.
So who was 2?
Kobe.
So that puts LeBron James in 3rd place as a scorer. Now the best person rebounder of the 3.
Well, you're gonna have to go with LeBron as far as rebounding.
2.
Then you got Kobe.
Okay.
And then you got Jordan. And the reason why is because Jordan really didn't have to rebound. That's why they brought Dennis Rodman and Horace Grant and guys like that in. They didn't want him focusing on rebounding. They brought guys in for that. LeBron and Kobe do it out of necessity.
Assist. Who's the best guy? Who's the best playmaker?
Jordan was a pretty damn good playmaker.
They don't give him credit for it, but
Jordan was a pretty damn good playmaker. You just got to realize who Jordan was playing with. He didn't play with a lot of guys who, could finish those plays, so he had to shoot it a lot of times. But when he did have guys in position that could take the shot and make the shot, Jordan was a pretty damn good playmaker.
And then last category is if you put those 3 guys, who was the best defender in rank 'em?
I'm gonna go Jordan, Kobe, and then LeBron.
So if you put those are the 4 major attributes, LeBron James would probably end up 2nd, maybe 3rd, but Jordan or Kobe. So that's what I'm saying. It's so much that you can put. I don't know what ingredients you put together to get the GOAT, but I'm going with Michael Jordan because he of what he did, and I mean just look at his numbers and look at what he done, and forget what he done off the court.
But it's also a mental thing too, like. Jordan was one of those guys that had an ego problem. Like, he just, you know what I'm saying?
But Kobe did too.
Yeah, Kobe did too. But Kobe had Phil Jackson. And for some reason, Phil Jackson...
Michael Jordan had Phil Jackson too.
They both had Phil Jackson. But Kobe had the Phil Jackson that wanted to keep him on a reign.
Yeah.
You understand? I don't know because Phil got Jordan later on in his career. And Jordan was already a grown-ass man, so he really couldn't, do too much when he got Jordan. But he had Kobe as a baby.
Yeah, he got Kobe from...
He had Kobe as a baby, so that makes, that plays into it too as far as how your coach wants to try to coach you because Kobe had that Jordan in him, but Phil Jackson wanted him to make his team better.
And lastly, because we run out of time, but lastly, on the category of the GOAT situation of all time, the best of all time, when we're looking at the totality of the 3 individuals that we named, now you have to tell me who is your GOAT because you never answered that question.
I don't have a GOAT.
You
I don't have a GOAT. I love NBA. I don't have a GOAT. That's just a conversation that I avoid because I don't have a GOAT. I can't make Jordan can never be my GOAT because he was my nemesis, so he can never be my GOAT. Well, that's just keeping it real.
Yeah, and like I said, with me, I'm going Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, then LeBron James. And I want to throw this stat out here before we go, is Michael Jordan never played with a player that scored more than 21 points in the season. He never played with a player that scored more than 21 points in the season. Let's put that in perspective. Everybody keep talking about, well, Jordan had Pippen, but they was like, Jordan had Pippen. Okay, Pippen never averaged. The most points he averaged was 22 points a game. That was the year that Jordan retired.
Yeah, it was. He was like, 18, 19 while he was with Jordan.
LeBron James has had Dwayne Wade. He's had Anthony Davis. He's had, when Chris Bosh went to the Miami Heat, Chris Bosh was averaging 24 points a game.
Yeah, he was averaging 24
he had Kevin Love. He had Kyrie Irving.
Kevin Love can't find a basket now since he went to Cleveland.
Right, and he should have stayed in Minnesota.
Because when he was at Minnesota, you raved and hollered about Kevin Love.
I thought he was the best power forward.
Yeah, at one point you thought he was the best. Then he goes to Cleveland with LeBron, and it's like, what happened to you? And then they gave him all that money.
And then you go look at Kobe Bryant. We do know he played with Shaq. But when Shaq had left and departed and went to Miami, he had Pau Gasol. Name another player that he really played at a high level that you would consider on the level that LeBron James teammates have been on.
And you really can't say Shaq was on a high level because Shaq was bullshit.
Well, no. Shaq won MVP. He was only MVP.
Yeah, but Shaq didn't do it on like a motivated type thing. if you listen to that interview, Shaq was like, "Shit, I got a kid that can go get 40. I ain't working out today. I ain't doing." You know what I'm saying? Shaq was doing them dirty just off of pure being Shaq.
It was a Shaq.
Can you imagine if Shaq was working out like LeBron
Or like Kobe.
or like Kobe?
But like I said, that's the GOAT conversation. Please weigh in, subscribe to the page.